Allah, this is so lively, mashallah. Respect of the neighbors. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has said, La yazalu. Jibreel constantly kept on advising me about the neighbors. Hatta dhanantu annahu sayuwarrithuhum. Until I thought that He's going to make neighbors as inheritors. That means a neighbor will end up inheriting from the next door neighbor. This is very big, it goes a long way. If you pay attention, there's so much importance and so much has been said about the neighbors that it puts them on the status of just like your relatives. Another hadith says from the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir, falyukrim jarahu." Whoever believes in Allah and the final day must respect his neighbor. So, neighbor is something which is something that we are held accountable. La yashba'ul mu'min duna jarihi. The hadith says a mu'min is not going to sleep as long as his neighbor is hungry. If your neighbor goes hungry, there is no way in Islam you can sleep. You have to be sleepless. You have to care about the neighbor until you do something to provide food to him. Either you provide the food itself, you give him the money, whatever. You have to do something so that the neighbor is no longer hungry. This is our faith. Such a beautiful faith in Islam that teaches us these rulings. Like I said in the welcome speech, that Imam Khomeini used to send his gifts to the Christian neighbors when he was in Paris on the occasion of Christmas. That's what we are supposed to do as well. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought us into the Western world, we have a job to do, and we need to live up to that expectation of Islam. So, how many of the Muslims are sending gifts to their neighbors of various religions? Before you start inviting them towards Islam and you do the da'wah, invitation work, calling them to come towards Islam, the best way to call them towards Islam is through our actions. Imam al-Askari alayhi salatu wasalam has said, كونوا دعاة إلى الناس بغير ألسنتكم. Be inviters of the people without your tongues. That means our actions should be such that people will look at us and say, these are the followers of Ja'far ibn Muhammad as-Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam. Good behavior, even a smile on the face. These are Islamic teachings. Al-mu'minu, isn't there in the hadith? Al-mu'minu bushruhu fi wajhihi wa husnuhu fi qalbihi. Right? That's in the hadith. So a mu'min has a smile on his face and sorrow in his heart. Obviously the hearts will be filled up with sorrow. So much is going on against Islam. Throughout the history, it has been the case in various forms. History keeps repeating itself. So, but all those sorrows are buried in our hearts. But when we meet each other, we show our expression of respect and love towards the fellow human beings. And this is one of the ways to invite them and to do good towards them, to lend your helping hand towards them. Just holding the door behind the person walking behind you is a very little thing. Keep the seat give the seat to some fellow passenger who may be elderly, or a woman, or a pregnant woman, or someone carrying a baby. These are very small things in the Western society, but it's very important. It gives a good message, because when we as Muslims are walking in this society, you are actually representing Islam, not yourself. And this is how the non-Muslims are taking your actions as well. They are not taking your actions as the actions of Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so. They take your actions as things done by Muslims. And actually they say, Islam is so-and-so. Which is not a right way of, concluding and deriving a decision and coming to a decision. That's not the right way, but that's the way they're doing it. So we need to be very particular. We are supposed to be walking and talking ambassadors of Islam. And our actions should be representing Islam, not our cultures, not our customs and traditions, and not our ethnic backgrounds. It should be representing the values, al-qiyamul ilahiyya, the values of Quran and Ahlul Bayt alayhim as-salam. Because the values of Quran and Ahlul Bayt are based on fitrat and human instinct, which is universal. And that's how you can make your message universal, to go across smoothly for all the human beings who have their conscience alive and who are serious to learn. MashaAllah, may Allah give us the tawfiq to do the itmam al-hujjat before the Sahib al-Zaman alayhi salam. We learned when Imam Mahdi alayhi salam appears, yusalli khalfahu Isa ibn Maryam, Prophet Isa, the son of Mary, is going to pray behind him. Lots of people in the Christian community will convert in towards the path of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam when they see Prophet Isa. Their prophet is praying behind Imam Mahdi alayhi salam. So they had, please say salawat. So they had what it takes to get attracted towards the truth. How much did we present? Did we truly represent Islam? We need to ask the question to ourselves. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. Another salawat for the blue team.